Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Yarn Creations podcast. I'm Adela and I live in Pretoria in South Africa. I just want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. I've got quite a few, and also welcome to my very loyal returning viewers. I think I have mostly for the most recent new subscribers, I've got Nikki to thank for that from Knitting with Catty. She very kindly mentioned me in her latest episode, and I really appreciate it, Nikki. Thank you for spreading the love. I also have to thank Ursula. I joined one of her live chats on YouTube a while back, and she also mentioned me a few times on her videos, and I want to thank her for that. And I think I also gained a few new subscribers on her recommendation. So thank you, Ursula, and thank you, Nikki. I think because I've reached I'm over 500 subscribers now, I think I would like to have a giveaway. I haven't really decided what, and I think I would like to keep it maybe a little bit of a surprise. Just to make it fun. So I love reading all the comments, and thank you very much for the people that do comment and for all the kind words. So I think just to get to know each other, please comment below this video with just anything that you want to say, where you're from, what your favorite colors are, what do you like to craft, do you knit, do you crochet, do you do both? And then I will pick one or two winners from there. It's so difficult because for us to send a parcel overseas is quite expensive, and I can use the post office, but I'm not really sure if it will arrive at its destination. So it's quite a risk. So what I might do is to, if I pick a winner from overseas, what I might do is just gift you a pattern, if that's okay with you. I think it will be the easiest. And then maybe if you're local to South Africa, or even if you live overseas and you have a local address, maybe family here in South Africa, then please tell me that as well. And when I've picked a winner, I will we can chat more and I can get to know you more, and then maybe see what I can gift you if you're picked as a winner. So let's just make it fun, and that way I can learn more about my viewers, and because I love to chat about the craft, about the yarn craft, because that's what I do here. I show what I do with yarn, what I make with yarn. I knit and I crochet and I weave. I don't spin yet. It's difficult to find time for everything. I think knitting is what I do most, although I am crocheting more than a few years than the last few years, I would say. I've started to crochet a little bit more again. I like the variation, it's kind to my hands, and then of course I love to weave, and I also like to ply yarn. I've got an Ashford e-spinner, and I love to ply yarn to create your colors by plying them together. So that is what I do. I've been podcasting on and off for almost 5 years now. I think in February somewhere next year it will be 5 years since I started. I started with 1 or 2 of episodes in Afrikaans. I grew up in a very, very Afrikaans environment. That was my home language. Everything was Afrikaans. I was in very Afrikaans schools. I think I speak more English now than I've ever done, because it seems that quite a few of the people that I get to know through the craft, through the yarn craft, is English speaking. And that's good for me, because then I speak more English and it makes me a little bit more comfortable when I have to speak to you. Although sometimes the words just doesn't want to come out correctly. But that's enough about that. It's already summer in South Africa. I know in the Northern Hemisphere you are making ready for winter and knitting all the cozy, warm winter stuff. So I hope you will stick around. I do still knit some smaller items for winter, and I've still got 2 winter garments on the needles. That's not done yet. That I will show from time to time, and when I've made some progress. But mostly it will be summer tops, summer tees, and then smaller items that's more comfortable to work with. And then I think I do weave more in summer than in winter. So the first thing then is I'm wearing my Scrappy Striber by Pia Trans. She's got also a YouTube channel, 50 Fabulous Knits, and I think she's also, her Instagram handle is also 50 Fabulous Knits. I've loved this tee since she released the pattern, and yes, I just think it's very comfortable. I love the fit. I used 3 colors that's out of my stash. I work a lot out of my stash. I do buy yarn for future garment projects, but most of the time when I knit something or want to start a new garment project, I go to my stash and see what I have. I don't really decide I want to knit this pattern and then go out and buy the yarn. I have the yarn and then I'm searching for a pattern, and most of the time I can't really find a pattern, and then I just knit and start and knit. So this one worked out quite well. I used 2 colors from Misslamotteyarns. She calls that base feather. It's the 75 merino, 25 nylon. So that's our only sock yarn available here. It's 366 meters. And I had 2 colors from her that I started a sock with. And then I decided I don't want these colors on my feet. I want to wear it on my body. So I frocked the sock, and I just want to see, yeah, I've got the 2 colors here. So the 2 colors from Misslamotteyarns is the pale poppy, that's this second one, and then the darkest color is the Riff, that's also from Misslamotteyarns. Yeah, so I know it will be the wrong side because I'm using my phone for my podcasts and I don't edit. I tried a few times without success, so I decided I'm just going to talk and enjoy myself and upload it, and I do write all the information I can in the description box below this video. So if there's anything that you can't find there, please ask me and I will gladly help you to find the answer if I don't know it, or if I've maybe didn't give enough detail, I will gladly answer your questions. So then this is the Misslamotte in the feather base in these two colors, and then the lighter color is from Knottyhabit, and she does her colors is ones of colors. It's also what she calls her KYSO base. It's also the 75-25 in the same sock yarn, and this color. So they don't have any names, but the three colors just worked very well together. But I was, I think, past the sleeves, sleeve separation already when I realized that this yarn is not going to be enough. And then I remembered, I thought it was a full skein, it was already caked up. So then I remembered that I did use a little bit of it for socks that I knitted, stripy socks that I knitted earlier this year. So what I had as well is a yarn, also in the same 75-25 merino nylon base. I had this lovely color from Openskye yarns, and I just added 2 stripes. It's a little bit lighter than the Knottyhabit one, but it worked out quite well. So the 2 stripes is in the body. There you can see one of them. So this is the Knottyhabit, this is the Pale Poppy from Misslamotte, and this is the Riff Raff from Misslamotte. And then that is the other color that I don't have the yarn label anymore, from Openskye yarns. So the pattern does have this little color work motif. It's in the pattern, but Pia doesn't use it a lot in her version. She only has it in this little in the sleeve, in that one stripe. But I decided that I do like the little pops of color, so I didn't cut the Pale Poppy. I just carried it with, and then I used that for the color work blips. I think she calls it the Scrappy Triangles. Yeah, I think that's what she called the little, she calls it little triangles, the color work in the stripe. So I really wanted to use all that I can of the 2 Misslamotte colors, because that was the 2 main colors, if you can call it that. So this is what I've got left of the Riff Raff. I can't even separate them because you wouldn't be able to see anything. But this is the Riff Raff color, and then that is the Pale Poppy. So I really tried to use all of it. So I couldn't make the sleeves any longer because I really wanted to end with the Riff Raff, the dark color. All that I did is that I added 3 rows of stockinette in the Pale Poppy, and then I bound off. I always use the Icelandic bind off. See if I can. And I love the hem. It's just a rolled hem, and then I did the same at the bottom hem. So yes, I used everything I could. I do love the fit. I started, because I didn't want the neckline too high, I want it the other way around. Most of the summer top patterns that I find or that I see has got a high neckline. And then in winter, when I want to knit a winter cozy sweater, I always have to start with less stitches, and then in summer I have to start with more stitches than asked for in the pattern. So I started with more stitches than the biggest size, but then for the first increase I did less increases to come to the size that I wanted to knit, and then I just continued with her increase method throughout the yoke until I reached the amount of stitches that I want. For some, I do like some quite a lot of positive ease, so I keep on increasing, or I increase to the size that I find comfortable for me to wear. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about the Scrappy Striber by Pia Trans. Next, I will show you a few of my finished items. I'm not sure because I try to record an episode once a month. I'm just barely making it because today is the 30th of September. So I'm making it. If this episode gets too long, I will maybe do another section for some of my works in progress if I don't find the time, because I don't want the episode to get too long, because I know people don't have a lot of time to watch a very long episode, and then I find it with myself, I forget that I haven't watched the whole episode, and then I never go back and watch the rest. So tell me, how do you find it? What do you think will work the best? Should I make shorter episodes and maybe record 2 episodes, even if it is one with all my finished objects, because I don't record that much, and I do knit and crochet and weave a lot. I can do 2 separate episodes, one with my finished objects and maybe another one with my works in progress. So tell me, also chat about me about that. What do you find works the best for you as a viewer? I find that you don't really have the time, or me including, can sit for an hour to watch a whole episode, and I know my episodes are usually about an hour long because I've got so much to show and to tell. So let me just quickly see, what do I have here. The other item that I've finished is this cowl. It's called the Patiki cowl by Arohaknits. I think the pattern is the Patiki hat and cowl. So you do get the hat and the cowl pattern in one pattern. It's a lovely pattern. I've had this one in my queue as well, or in my library, for quite a few years. I think it's not a new pattern. It's quite an older pattern. I used I used a heavy DK merino. It's a 4-ply. What I mean when I talk about a 4-ply or a 3-ply is the amount of plies in the yarn. That's nothing to do with the weight, because we have a base that's a 3-ply DK, and then we have a heavy DK or a light worsted that's got 4 plies. So the only thing that makes it a heavier weight yarn is the fact that there is 1 ply extra in the yarn itself. So this is a one-of-a-kind yarn. She doesn't have names for her yarns, and this one is a Misslamotteyarns. It's a lovely, very delicately speckled yarn, and the tones, when I hold them together, I just immediately thought that the tones worked well together. And this one was called Vanilla Coffee Bean. That's absolutely the correct name for it. It's got brown speckles and then a few very delicate pink speckles. But unfortunately, all the pink speckles are on the inside of the cowl. I was so disappointed every time when I see, oh, here's another very delicate pink speckle, and then again it's in the float that's at the back. Let me just see if I can find, there's quite a few of them. You can see, here you can see one of the pink speckles. Yeah, let me show you my floats. I do like neat floats. So yeah, this is a very nice project actually to practice your color work. That's why I knitted it, because I'm giving the beginner color work classes at the Yarn Tree in Johannesburg. I like to have a work in progress on my needles, a cowl on my needles, so that I can show people exactly how I knit it and the different other ways maybe to knit color work, and how to manage the yarns, because I think that's the most important, and then so that they can see and feel the fabric and see how the floats must look and that kind of thing. So while I'm giving the classes, I grabbed the opportunity of taking out some old patterns that I haven't knitted yet, that has been in my Ravelry library for quite some time, and knit them up as samples or as examples. So I showed you the first one that I just made a very simple pattern with, to show them, or for practice. It's a good to have a very simple color work pattern to practice on. So this is the pattern that I give in the class. And as I showed you last, this is this very beautiful speckled yarn is Madonna from Cowgirlblues. And with the yarns that I had left over, I knitted myself a little Sophiescarf. I love the speckling of this Madonna colorway. So this is also a heavy DK in a 4 ply. Yeah, I just like to, this one isn't very long because I had about 42 grams left. So I think the way that I like to wear it is just loosely tied around my neck. I didn't make it as wide as in the pattern. I would like to make, to knit maybe a longer, wider one that I can tie around my neck, and that will keep me warm. But this is just for, it matches what I'm wearing at the moment. But because it's summer, I don't think that I will wear it for too long. But at the moment, when I'm wearing it like this, it's not, I'm not overheating with wearing this. But it's, yeah, I just, I increased, I think up to, yeah, mine isn't very, as you can see, it's much narrower. So I just increased until like the pattern is from Very Pink. It's called the Sophiescarf by PetiteKnit. And I just did the increases as in the pattern, but not till not as wide as she suggests in the pattern. So I made mine is much narrower, and then I just continued straight, and I weighed my yarn, and then when I had enough, just enough left to do the decreases, I started the decreases. So yes, it's a lovely little scarf, and I see people tie it around their bags and in their hair. I don't think I will ever wear something like this in my hair, but it looks very pretty in other people's hair. So that is the Sophiescarf by PetiteKnit. I think, yes, just the one other thing that I did finish is a woven wrap that I wove with just yarns out of my stash. I used, so I don't think I took it out again, I think. It's a Nurturing Fibers 2-ply super twist that I used for the warp. I think it's called Smoky Nights, if I'm correct. And I just used lots of different yarns. So yeah, it's very soft and lovely, and something that you can also wear in use in summer on a cool summer night. I think I walked almost my entire 70 centimeter Ashford Knitters loom, and the length of the warp was 2.5 meters, and the wrap itself, the woven fabric, after it came off the loom and it was washed, is about 1.8 meters. So there's no loom waste, because all of the rest of the warp yarn is in this fringe. So yes, that is, it can be worn as a scarf as well, or it can be used as a wrap just around the shoulders. It's very light and very comfortable. So it's nothing, it's not a heavy fabric. Oh, and I used my 10 dent reed for this. That's what I usually use for the 2-ply super twist. If I warp with a 2-ply super twist, I always use my 10 dent reed. So yeah, that's off my loom, and I've got another one that's on the loom. I almost immediately warped again with just some leftover yarns, also in the 2-ply super twist merino from different dyers, and just played with color. So that one is almost finished, and I will show that one to you next time. So I think that is all my finished objects, and I think there's some time for me to show you what I'm working on at the moment. The one item that I'm really enjoying is a crochet project, and that is the Stella Shawl by Jamieson. just see if I can, not sure if I will be able to get it in the screen. So it's crochet, and I think for the knitters out there that doesn't like, because I know crochet can be much heavier and creates a thicker fabric, but I think this might be ideal for someone who who prefers a knitted fabric. I think this is actually the ideal project to do. So this is the other side. So it will be totally reversible. It's a brilliant design by Julmay Conradi, and she's my square hat on Instagram. I will put all the information below. It's called the Stella Shawl, and it's on Ravelry. And it's done in Skepia's wool, and I'm using exactly the same 2 wool colors that's asked for in the pattern. I already had the one. I had the Sea Breeze Tees. I already had. So I just bought the Blackcurrant Squeeze Me is the one that I just bought. I just thought that I can just as well use it too in the pattern because I love the combo. And yes, I do love the 2 colors together. And I am using a 3.25 clover crochet hook for this project. Love, love, love. I find this basket very convenient for the 2 wools because they do stay intact, and they can't really go anywhere, and they can't collapse that much. So I find this ideal to just keep. And when I'm it's because you are doing 1 row with the 1 color and then the 2nd row with the 2nd color, I find that I can just turn the basket and then my yarns aren't twisting so much. So that is working well for me. The other big project that I'm still busy with, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to show it to you before it's done, because I've showed it so many times already, but I am working on it again, so I can just as well show it. And the Nikki has from Knitting with Katie that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. She's got a make-along running for the whole year. She had it for the previous year that I think ended beginning of August, a year of Marie Wallin make-along, and now it's another year of Marie Wallin make-along. So I'm still busy with my lovage. It's almost done, and I have talked about it a lot and explained what I'm doing, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but I am doing it. I did do it top down, and as I said, I used I bought a kit for the Sycamore wrist warmers. That's also patterned by Marie Wallin. So I had the British breeds and I had a lot left. So I decided that I can just as well put it in a sweater, and then I will put it to good use. And I did add a little bit of John Arbon Yarnadelic, and especially this Ordinary Joe colorway for the rest of the body. So the body is done. Last time I was still busy with the body, so that is done. And the color work on the sleeves is done. And I'm busy with the Ordinary Joe color for the rest of the sleeve. And what I was thinking is to do like a 3/4 sleeve. so that I can use the wrist warmers. So if I can do a sleeve that comes up to here, that would actually, I think, work well. So I will knit the sleeve up to here and then wear it next winter and see how I find it. So if I'm too warm, I can just take off my wrist warmers and then I've still got a 3/4 sleeve sweater on. But I'm happy with it just took all my brain power. I said to Nikki, it took all my brain power and a pocket scale to to use my random British breed colors that I had, because the original is not, it was done in a Rowan yarn. So yeah, I had to replan everything, and as I said, I didn't do the last chart. I did 2 different ones, the one from the Sycamore wrist warmer and one from a pair of socks out of one of the books. But I can't wait actually to finish this and to put it into water, into eucalyptus, because we are so fortunate to now have eucalyptus here that Mariki from Colours of Amalfi imported for us. It's difficult to get. Some items are very difficult to get hold of because a lot of companies don't want to ship to South Africa. So it's very difficult to get hold of some items. So I'm very happy to have some eucalyptus that I can soak my lovage in. And I really can't wait. I'm really happy with the fit. So maybe, don't know, maybe next time it will be a finished object and I can wear it for like 5 seconds to show it off. Because it's already quite hot here. So that is my lovage that I'm participating in for another year of Marie Wallin Make Along, and I will definitely try and start another one. Not sure, maybe I can still finish it. It's the beta that I showed you last out of the book that I've got the Rowan felt tweed for, but I think I'm going to wait till say January, February to start that, so that it's done by the time that it's getting cold. Let's hope I can do it that way. Here is all my British breeds that I've got left. Precious yarn, because that's also something that I don't think I will easily be able to buy again, mostly because of our terrible exchange rate with and shipping costs. It's ridiculous. It's just not worth it. But the John Arbon is a good substitute for the for Marie Wallin's patterns. So this is what I've got left. Precious little balls. So I'm not sure if I want to knit them up into something, maybe in a cowl, or just keep them as a souvenir and a reference, because that's also very nice that if I don't have all the colors, because she does have quite a lot. I think she's got, isn't it 16 or 20 colors now, I'm not sure, but this is only a few. But this is a good reference actually if I want to knit one of her patterns, to see what the actual color does look like. So I might just keep them in this little bag as a souvenir, just to look at and to feel and touch. So that is the lovage. Let me see what else. I am busy with another Sophiescarf, but this is just my on-the-go knitting. Like sometimes you have a sock as in the car as you're on-the-go knitting. Now this is my sock knitting at the moment. Is another Sophiescarf. This little cute stitch marker is by now I forgot her name. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Oh, and everybody is screaming it out to me now. And to find her name quickly. Annegret Pincushion Crafts. She is making these beautiful stitch markers, and she gifted me this at the Stoepmark because she said it matches my knitting, and I think it does very well. I love it. I'm making this or knitting this Sophiescarf pattern by PetiteKnit again in 2 strands of merino lace. Just want to see if I can show you the combos quickly. So I started with this combo, and then I replaced that one with this one, and then I replaced this one with this one. So I'm busy with this combo at the moment, and I might replace this one with this pretty dark color. So we will see. So yeah, see the pretty colors there. So I just love to maul, and I always, if I have a pattern that I can use the mauling technique for, I like to do that. And this is actually a very good pattern to do that with. So I don't know, I've only got one needle. Oh, there's my other needle. I'm just using ordinary DPNs. I think they are Addies, bought from Scrappy, and then I use my tulip stoppers. Now and they are loose, I can just take them off. So that is what I'm knitting my Sophiescarf with. And that also matches my top. So it seems that this might just be my favorite colors. I definitely think it's my favorite colors. There's of course one finished object that I totally forgot to show you. So I will quickly go back to that before it gets too long. And it's my Bonnie Isle hat. That is the Shetland Wool Week for this year. It's a free pattern on the Shetland Wool Week website. You can find it there for free. And I think it's free for the year until next year's pattern is released. Then this becomes a paid for pattern, and the new pattern is then the free pattern for the Shetland Wool Week. So this the Bonnie Isle hat is a pattern by Linda Shearer, I think. And there's different colorways. I use Jamieson and Smith that I bought from Arthur Bales, and every time I'm there or they have a sale, I buy 1 or 2 or 3 little 25-gram balls to add to my collection. So I just looked, what I did, I looked at the patterns. I don't think this is all. I think there's more different ones that you can use. And this one I like the look of this one. but that is in another yarn that I can't even pronounce, Eysteroor. It's also Shetland wool. So I just went to my little box of, I've got a very pretty little box. I've showed it a long time ago. I thought of bringing it, but I didn't. With all my little balls of Shetland yarn in, Jamieson and Smith in that little box. And I just choose colors. And I just randomly, I looked at the picture and then decided what colors I'm going to use. So mine is totally different than the color order that she asks for in the pattern, or that she suggests in the pattern. So in her pattern, this and that one is the same colors, but I did different ones. So I just mixed up the colors. I don't really wear a hat. I just knit this too. That's my way of being part of the Shetland Wool Week. Because at the moment it's impossible actually to, I'm not sure how soon I will ever be able to go because of the exchange rate once again. But I can always dream of maybe visiting Shetland at some other time. And at the meantime, I'm knitting the hats. Look at the beautiful crown. So this is the one that I knitted last year, also in Jamieson and Smith. This is called the Crofterskep. I think it was, the designer was Wilma Malkinson. This year's hat is a little bit bigger. It fits my head better. That one was a little bit too small. It was a little bit shorter than this one. And I saw the other day that Shetland, the Shetland Wool Week, they did a small little piece on explaining why Linda designed the hat with these patterns in. It's named after the nickname for Walsey, that is called the Bonnie Isle. Living on an island means the sea is ever present in her life, and all the men in her family have worked on or near the sea. But although the Bonnie Isle hat has a nautical theme, the patterns mean much more. The chain in the rib represents the link between all during Shetland Wool Week, and the anchor, a common motif in Fair Isle knitting, symbolizes a sense of keeping grounded, connected to what matters most, and able to cope with life's challenges. So I just love the connection. The crown, the beautiful crown, a circle, is to Linda a spinning wheel and a tribute to her mother, Ina, a prolific spinner and knitter. She was her inspiration. So I just thought that that's so beautiful to understand the designing of the hat. Love it. I will quickly just show you my colors. I've got this little, I think it's a little cosmetic carrier. I bought it years ago. It's all glittery. But I love putting, like a project like this hat, I love putting it in here and displaying my beautiful colors. So I've took out the colors I think 2 months ago already, when the pattern was released, and I put them in this little carrier, and I just put it there and looked at it and decided I will knit it when the Wool Week is actually happening. And I think it was last week. I think it ended, no, it's still ongoing. I think it ends this weekend. It started on Saturday. Yeah, it started on Saturday the 24th, and I think it will end this weekend. When I buy these Jamieson and Smith, I always go for the mix colors, the colors that say mix there. This, for example, is shade 72 mix. And this one is FC55 mix. It's got beautiful colors. My background color was shade 1. And this is also a beautiful mix. It's FC56. Gorgeous color. Love this color. And then I also used FC21 mix. And the last color I used was FC50 mix. I will put all the color names that I used in the description box below. But yeah, these colors just all went so well together for me, and they looked like the one in the picture. So that is what I used, and I loved working with these colors and this yarn. I don't think we are used to, it's a little bit more rustic, so we are not really used to wearing garments in a more rustic yarn, but I love using it in a hat. And for garments, I would rather use then the felted tweed, Rowan felted tweed, or the John Arbon yarns. They are also much softer, I think. But I know these yarns do get quite, I can already feel a difference after it has been washed. And it's so light. And it does, it's just perfect for color work because it blooms when you wash it. And all the stitches that just settle in and blooms a little bit and hides all the little small mistakes that you've made. So where are we now? Almost at an hour once again. So this will be a longer one again. Let me just quickly think if there's anything else that I want to show you. It's a bit of a, not very organized, but not one of my episodes have ever been organized. So I can just as well continue in that, keep going in that direction. So I've shown you all my finished objects and works in progress. The only other work in progress that I can quickly show you is I did work on my log cabin squares. This is crochet log cabin square, and I've got, I think, about 12 at the moment. It's a free pattern. It's called the Log Cabin Square pattern by Julie Harrison, and she's Little Woolly on Instagram, and she's also on YouTube, where she's got a tutorial for these squares, also as Little Woolly. I will put it all down below. Her pattern is for 3 rounds, so 1, 2, 3. I decided to add an extra round on the squares just to make them a little bit bigger, and I quite like the size of them now. So I'm using the 3-ply DK. They are all about 220 meters on 100 gram. Just want to quickly show you a few pretty ones. This one I particularly like very much. Yeah, they're quite similar colors, all of them, but I think I like it this way. So they are not too wild. So I've got a few small leftovers from Indie Bell Fibers, which she doesn't dye anymore. And then I've got one or two, I think I showed them last time, from Oneofakind Yarns. And this one is Oneofakind Yarns. And this one as well, Oneofakind, all in the 3-ply DK base. And the rest of them are all Knottyhabit. Yeah, most of them, the majority of them are from Knottyhabit. And that they are all out of my stash. I bought one full skein just to get one stronger color. So I bought this one from Knottyhabit, and then I shared 2 skeins with a friend. Which do with that? I can't find the other one now. This one, I think, yeah. These two also to get 2 more stronger colors. I've only got 50 grams of each of them, but that's fine. I don't want to make an enormous blanket. I do get bored, and I do have a lot of ideas and stuff and patterns I want to make. So if this is what I've got, this is what I have. So when they are done, my blanket will be done. This is one out of that I used in my tecumseh. Love it, love this color. And so the other speckles I all had in my stash. This one is beautiful as well. Also Knottyhabit. And I am using a 4mm tulip. Favorite crochet hooks in the whole world. So this is my squares, and I just love them. So they all have 4 rounds, or one, or the middle square, and then 3 rounds. Lovely, lovely pile. So I think that is quite enough for one episode. I'm not even sure if you made it up to here, but thank you if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and for subscribing and helping me to reach over 500 subscribers. So now I've got the community tab where I can chat a little bit more. Not that I did that since I got it. It's only been a few weeks. But please comment below, as I said, with where you're from and what you prefer, colors, your favorite craft, yarn craft. And then when I do my next episode, before that I will draw 1 or 2 winners, and then I will announce them in the next episode and show what I have to offer for you to win. And maybe I will even give you a choice between yarn and a pattern. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not very organized with anything regarding my YouTube channel. The only aspect of my life that's very organized is my yarn. That I very much like to organize. So thank you so much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye.